Wolves 2, Newcastle 1. Very much a smash and grab win for the Wolves. But I don't think we played particularly well. I put a little poll out at half-time saying what is going to be the final result. I looked on Twitter. There was quite a lot of negativity, a lot of criticism at Neves for his lack of control in midfield. I think the passing generally in the first half was quite weak. And they lacked that cohesion that we keep talking about. And it just didn't look particularly good. But the main point is we stayed in the game. There was a point as well, the last 10 minutes of the first half, Newcastle could have easily stormed through us and scored a couple more goals. However, we managed to keep it at 1-1 and stay in the game at that point. And then I think a little bit of fortune, I think, with their red card. I'm not sure if it was a red card, really, because it was quite a long way from goal. Joshua had lost control of the ball, so whether or not it was actually a red card, I don't know. But we took advantage then. We had a lot more possession. Newcastle threatened us a lot less once we had, once they were down to 10 men. But there was still that little bit of air of Wolves. We've seen Wolves before. We know what happens. And it could easily have been a Newcastle win. We could have let them back into the game. But we looked more threatening then down the left-hand side. Vinagre and Jota combining quite well on a few occasions. Jimenez hitting the bottom of the bar. And then our luck paid at the very end of the game. Jota, I think probably his best game. I think it's amazing what a goal can do for confidence. The goal that he scored against Chelsea was great, and then you can see that the way that he took his first goal, although he wasn't, I think you could be critical of the Newcastle goalkeeper. I think he could have come out and swiped the ball away from Jota or tried to stop him, and then his shot was straight at the goalkeeper, but luck was on his side and it went through him and into the net. And then his second goal, well, not his second goal, Doherty's goal, the second for Wolves. He'd ran a long way. The Newcastle players were criticised at the end of the game now just for not putting a tackle in. But I think if they had done, Jota would have gone over and it would have been a penalty. But it's amazing how confident he is now as a player. I think we're now seeing the Jota that we were hoping that we'd see from the first day of the Premier League. He's got there now. And let's hope that he can continue to build on those good performances. We've got a good fixture now next week against Bournemouth. I think when we were not picking up points and we were looking at this little run of fixtures, we thought, well, we'd lose to Chelsea, be lucky to get anything out of Newcastle away, and then Bournemouth are a good team at home. It's going to be difficult to get anything there. But now I think our tails are up and we're in the top half of the table again. We're on 22 points from 16 games, I think it is now, which is quite an incredible amount of points for a team newly promoted. And we've got to keep ourselves grounded and keep ourselves in that sort of mindset that we are a newly promoted team, despite all the money and despite the ambition of the club and the anticipation of the fans. We're doing incredibly well, and I think the confidence is slowly coming back. I think we saw that in the first half. They weren't particularly confident in their performance, but hopefully now they can build a little bit. Just a note on Gibbs White, I thought again showed a great level of performance when he came on, although there was one little pirouette turn that he did and gave possession away, and he was quite quiet after that. I imagine that Nuno told him off a little bit perhaps after that, and he sort of settled down into a normal game as well. But really pleased with him. I would love to see him start. I think there were obviously a few question marks at the beginning of the game with the team. Traore again proving that he's not what we need. I thought Costa played quite poorly as well, but it doesn't really matter. I don't want to look at the negatives too much. We've won the game. We've won 2 back-to-back games. We've won away from home for the first time in 2 months. We scored 2 goals away from home for the first time this season. So it's really positive. And we move on now to next Saturday against Bournemouth, and hopefully another 3 points there. And if we'd have just won those 2 games, Huddersfield and Cardiff, those 2 games against the teams in the bottom 3. Although Cardiff looked like they're on a bit of a good run of form, but we'd have been up above Manchester United in 6th place at the moment if we'd have won those 2 games. It's really tight, and if we can just put a few results together now, it could be a really good season. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.